Have you ever gone into a public restroom and saw someone that made you take a second glance? I'm not necessarily talking about an attractive stranger. I'm talking about someone who looked out of place to you. Maybe you saw someone in the women's restroom who had a particularly short haircut, and for a second you thought, is that person male? Did they make a mistake, or did they intentionally go to use that restroom instead of actually just letting them go to the bathroom in peace? In this world, there's a whole spectrum of gender identities. Some people identify as male or female, some identify as both, and some identify as neither. In fact, if you identify as a certain one that you were assigned to at birth, you're a cisgender female if you identify as female. You're cisgender male if you were born male at birth and you identify as male. My plan of action is the creation of gender-neutral restrooms in public locations to ensure safety for both parties, no matter how anybody identifies. Now, somebody passing is someone that identifies as female and would pass to the average person as female, and the same goes for male. So that is what passing is. I want to persuade you that the problem of passing is the main reason that gender-neutral bathrooms are necessary. The main problem is that passing as any gender is a dangerous game in itself, especially when it comes to public restrooms. Not everyone looks like the gender they identify as. That can lead to an inconvenience and violence between people. The largest group affected by violence is trans people of color. In fact, The Advocate, a lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer news source, last year said there were 20 homicides with trans people and 11 were trans people of color. To the more specific issue of bathrooms, according to the Odyssey, another LGBTQ research group, 70% of responders to a survey published in a Journal of Public Management have been denied entrance and were harassed or assaulted trying to use a public restroom of how they identify. There are very few people that can afford passing. Passing requires surgery. According to the Transgender Surgery Guide, surgery created for trans people lists only 2 surgeons in Texas for that type of surgery. The surgeons who do practice may not specialize in all areas of transitioning. They do mastectomies, which are top surgeries, and that would be for female to male procedures. The World Professional Organization for Transgender Health states that the average cost of male to female surgery is about $17,000. Now, once you add $1,000 for therapy and $1,500 for hormones, $500 for doctor's visits and labs, that's almost $20,000, the price of a car that people are spending just to try and use the restroom that they want to use. There's also non-binary people. It's a term for those who don't identify as female or male, such as my sibling. Now, some non-binary people still have breasts as features, so they may still be identified as female. They might wear makeup, but then they still could look like a male if they wear binders, which are wraps to cover their breasts. So they're sometimes called male, but that's incorrect as well. With the implement of gender-neutral bathrooms, non-binary people could use the new bathroom regardless of their appearance, whether they look like male, female, or neither. The biggest problem with cisgender people, those are the people, again, who were born as male or female and identify that way. They complain about trans people using restrooms. They feel like someone may take advantage of that and take advantage of them, such as a male coming into a women's bathroom and take advantage of them. Some cisgender people believe that actual transgender people would attack others, despite the fact that there is zero evidence of this actually ever happening. And finally, going back to my reference to non-binary people, a good reason for gender-neutral bathrooms is so that people who are gender-neutral fit outside of the gender binary, males and females, have a place to use the restroom. Because of the lack of visibility, there's been little reason for the creation of these gender-neutral bathrooms. Most people don't consider this an issue because it's simply not something they face every day. So basically, the critical issue of passing, the concerns of cisgender people, and the existence of non-binary people, I urge you to consider the creation of gender-neutral bathrooms in order to ensure the safety and comfort of both trans and cis people. For the benefit of the transgender community, who could include people you know that aren't out yet, its relations with the cisgender community, please be mindful of trans issues in general, but especially those concerning the bathroom, because everyone deserves to go in peace. Thank you.